let us come to classification of cost. So I had said cost is classified on the basis as direct cost and indirect cost. Okay, and this classification of cost is given by CAS 1, Cost Accounting Standard 1. Okay, is that clear to everyone? Classification of cost given by CAS 1, Cost Accounting Standard 1. And how do you classify cost? As per them, it is direct cost and indirect cost. Okay, fine. Now, last lecture I said direct cost is further divided into direct material, direct labor, and direct expenses. Okay, it is divided as direct material, direct labor. Please write it down along with me. Direct labor and direct expenses. Okay. Fine. Then, last lecture, I also told you all that as per CAS 1, direct cost means it should have features of okay, okay. Let me check. Now see, am I audible? Am I audible now? Screen share is visible. I am visible. Okay, fine. So direct cost definition as per CAS 1 says that an expense is said to be a direct cost when it has these features. It should be variable in nature and it should be dependent on units produced. Okay, so this is what I had told you. Okay, a direct cost is direct cost when it has two features. First, it should be variable in nature, and next, it should be depending on the number of units produced. So on this basis, we had first, so this is A, this is B. So this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. Okay, direct material, direct labor, direct expenses, and individual examples also I gave you. Okay, right? Now let us come to indirect cost.
Ma'am, we can't hear you.
Okay, now what is this indirect cost? Obviously, its definition will be opposite of what we have done. Okay, so what is the opposite definition? I mean, what would be the opposite word to this? Here, indirect cost. Right? So, as far as the definition says, indirect cost is that cost which should be fixed, not variable. Okay, it should not be variable. What do you mean by not variable? Not variable means it should be fixed. And then here it says it should depend on units produced. Here it says not depend on units produced. Okay, right? Note this down, students. Very important for solving sum. Okay, yeah. Indirect cost is a cost which is not variable. I'll give you examples of this, and it does not depend on units produced. Okay, now, fine. Now, this is also indirect cost is further divided into three. First, factory. Just don't write anything, just write the word factory, then I'll tell you what to do. Second, admin. Admin is also known as office. Third, third is selling and distribution. Selling and distribution. Okay. Okay. Now, students, listen. Indirect cost is not indirect cost in cost accounting. There is a different word to it, and that new word is overheads. Okay, I repeat, indirect cost in cost accounting subject is also known as overheads. Okay, don't forget this word, overheads. Okay, now see what I'm gonna do. So now factory will be known as factory overheads. Admin will be now known as admin overheads. Selling and distribution will be now known as selling and distribution overheads. Clear, everyone? Okay. Next, cost accounting in cost accounting, there is an abbreviation which is used for overheads. Okay, abbreviation means short form. We will not write the full spelling OVERHEADS. No, we will use an abbreviation that is capital O, capital H, and small letter S. This is the abbreviation for overheads. Capital O, capital H, and small letter S. Okay. Now see what am I going to do. Okay. Right. Now see. So henceforth, I will use this factory overheads, office overheads, selling and distribution overheads. I will not write the full spelling henceforth. Okay. Sums may also, we will be using the short forms only. Okay. That will save your time in exam. Okay. So this is all about classification of cost. Okay, direct cost, direct material, direct labor, direct expenses, which depends on the number of units produced. As in when the units produced increases, the cost increases. So I can show you better like this also. Wait, I'll show it to you all like this. So in direct cost, what happens is units produced, that is quantity. If the quantity is increasing, direct cost will also increase. Okay, and if the quantity units produced is decreasing, so direct cost will also decrease. Okay, don't forget this concept. This is very important. Okay, this part is very important. If units produced increases, direct cost increases. Units produced decreases, direct cost decreases. इसी को तो हम वेरिएबल बोलते हैं. यही तो होता है वेरिएबिलिटी, which changes with output. Okay, and what happens in an indirect cost? Units produced increase करो या decrease करो. Indirect cost, no change. Okay, indirect cost, no change. Okay, so this is called as not variable. Not variable matlab it is fixed. Clear everyone about the concept? Okay. Okay, I'm going slow dear because this aspect is very important from some point of view. Yeah, because all these things which I am highlighting, which I am writing, I'm showing the arrows, upward arrows, downward arrows, all these minute details you have to remember when we are solving something. I mean, it should be there in your mind, in your thought when you're solving them. हाँ कि ऐसा भी करना है, ये भी करना है, वो भी करना है, because the question will not tell you कि भाई ये करना है, वो करना है. You should know about all these things. That is what is assumed in the question paper. Okay, it will not be indicated to you, it should be there in your mind. Okay, next let's come to this aspect. Factory overheads. Let us speak about this. Then I will speak about this office overheads. And last today, before winding the what you call session, these three aspects we are going to complete today. Okay? Yeah. Now, and students don't forget, मेरे साथ साथ आपको लिखना भी है, वो भी याद रखना है. You can't skip writing. Okay, not I mean jotting down the points. So now let me come to factory overheads. Okay, so write down. It is an expense paid by the manufacturer expense paid by the manufacturer, okay, for expense paid by the manufacturer, I mean before goods comes out of the factory gate. This is called as a factory overheads. Okay, I'll tell you what it means. Just note it down. Expenses paid by the manufacturer before goods comes out of the factory gate. Okay, just remember students, don't write this what I'm doing right now. Now, factory, it's a place. Factory, it's a place where your raw material is converted into finished goods. बराबर. ओके, तो फैक्ट्री के गेट तक जो भी खर्चा इंकर हुआ है फैक्ट्री प्रीमाइसेस के अंदर, उसको बोलते हैं फैक्ट्री ओवरहेड्स. आई रिपीट, वॉट एवर एक्सपेंसेस has been incurred for converting your raw material into finished goods within the factory premises, That is known as factory overheads. Okay. Once the goods are ready and they are moving out of the factory gate, then comes admin overheads and then comes selling overheads. Is that clear to everyone? So raw material को finished goods बनाने के लिए whatever expense you are incurring in the factory premises, that is this part, comes out of the factory gate, that is factory overheads. Okay, so in a simple language, you'll have done manufacturing final accounts in your F5 first year. You must have done this manufacturing final accounts. So in manufacturing final accounts, which accounts do you prepare? We prepare manufacturing account, we prepare P&L account, we obviously there is trading, I forgot that. We prepare trading account also, and then ultimately we prepare a balance sheet. Yes or no? Yeah. So ये है ना बेटा, ये दो अकाउंट जो आप बनाते हो ना, इसको कॉस्ट अकाउंटिंग में फैक्ट्री ओवरहेड्स बोलते हैं. Okay, समझ में आया? These two accounts which you prepare ना, manufacturing account and trading account, okay, in financial accounting, and whatever expenses you write down in these two accounts is factory overheads in cost accounting subject. Clear? So this will make a clear picture to you. Okay, am I clear to everyone about this? Okay, fine. Now let me give you a list of expenses. So now you can relate. When I said manufacturing account debit side, trading account debit side, so I hope you remember the items which comes under these accounts. So the items which comes under these accounts are, okay, so it will be factory rent. See, I'm using the word factory. Yeah? It has to be rent of your factory premises. Then factory staff salary. Okay. Now, इसमें क्या क्या आएगा? स्टाफ सैलरी में wages आएगा. Okay, whether it is direct wages or indirect wages, both will come here. Then salary of supervisor. Now supervisor is a person who takes care of the, what do you call, factory. Okay, yeah. So salary of the supervisor and salary of factory manager. I'm not using the word factory full. I'm writing it in capital F in the bracket. Okay, that indicates factory in cost accounting. Okay, so when I say factory staff salary, the factory staff salary will include direct wages, indirect wages, salary of the supervisor, and salary of the factory manager. I hope you all can relate this with your manufacturing final accounts. These are all the items from there. Okay, next comes factory electricity. Factory electricity. Okay, next factory depreciation. Important here is, what is this factory depreciation? Okay, it means depreciation on factory related assets. Okay, depreciation on factory related assets. Now, as per cost accounting standards 1, okay, how you have accounting standard 1 2 3 like this, you have cost accounting standard. As per Cost Accounting Standard 1, what do you mean by factory assets? Okay, they have given you definition. Factory assets का definition है like plant and machinery, okay, that comes in factory assets. So uska depreciation, uska repairs and maintenance will come in factory. Then comes equipments, factory equipments. Then comes loose tools. Okay, loose tools is factory asset. Loose tools are nuts and bolts which are used for fixing your plant and machinery. Okay, so it's an asset. Okay, then factory ka premises. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. So if in exam they tell you depreciation or repairs and maintenance on these assets, it is a part of factory. Okay, please note this down. Depreciation or repairs and maintenance on factory assets like plant and machinery, equipments, loose tools, premises, okay, will be part of. You can even add one more point, beta. Factory building भी हो सकता है आपकी बिल्डिंग खुद की हो फैक्ट्री की, so उसका depreciation, repairs and maintenance will be a part of factory. Okay, now there is a question from let me check. Okay, Radhe Shyam has asked, ma'am, what are indirect wages? Okay, I'll reply to this. And next, Pankaj Chaudhary has asked, indirect salaries and wages are the second form of compensation from an employer to an employee. They do not directly benefit the firm and are not paid to an employee for services. Okay, so indirect salaries paid include paid off training, health insurance, retirement contribution. Okay, fine. I'll come to this. Fine. For Radheshyam, it is indirect wages is those wages which is not a part of your manufacturing. I mean, it's not related to your units produced. Okay, I'll give you an example. Say, if you're making a T-shirt, you're a garment manufacturer, so the shirt has to be first cut and then it has to be stitched. Okay, so you require a tailor for that. The tailor who will stitch the shirt, who will cut the shirt, is a direct labor. Okay, because his wages, his salary will depend on number of units produced. जितनी वो शर्ट बनाएगा उतना उसको wages मिलेगा. अगर वो एक शर्ट बनाने का 100 रुपए लेता है, if he makes 2 shirt, I will pay him 200. If he makes 3 shirt, I will pay him 300. So that is direct wages. I mean, which is directly proportionate to the number of units produced. But if the same shirt, once it is done, uska packing ho, I mean before packing the shirt, agar before packing the shirt I have to first iron the shirt, then only I will pack it. तो जो iron वाला है वो जो press करेगा shirt को फिर उसको pack करेगा, उसको तो मैं ये नहीं बोलूंगी ना भाई तू एक शर्ट प्रेस करेगा तो मैं तेरे को उसका 5 रुपया दूंगी. No, he is a person who is fixed by me on a salary basis. I mean, daily ka I will pay him, say, daily ka I will pay him, say, 500 rupees daily. Okay. But for what job? For ironing the shirt. So the day he doesn't come for ironing, I mean, he doesn't, what do you say, iron the shirts, still I will have to pay him. Why? Because I have kept him on that fixed amount. Right? Say I pay him somewhere around 10,000 a month for ironing the shirts only. So that's an indirect wages. His salary or his wages is not dependent on number of units or number of shirts he will press. Okay, but the tailor who is appointed by me is a direct wages, and the person who is ironing the same shirt and packing the same shirt, I haven't appointed on him on the basis of units produced. वो जितना units pack करेगा या iron करेगा उसके हिसाब से उसको मैं wages नहीं दूंगी. Okay, I will pay him a lump sum, a fixed figure, say 10,000, and in that 10,000 in the whole month he has to iron the shirts also, he has to he has to pack the shirts also. Okay, and there may be days where there will be no shirts manufactured, no units produced, so I will still have to pay him. So that is called as indirect wages. Am I clear to this about this? Is it clear? Yeah, Pankaj, I understood you have replied to that question. Okay, is it clear till here? Acknowledge it in the group. Okay, and give your attendance also there. Start giving your attendance there. Okay. Now come to admin. Okay. Please note down this, whatever I have written about factory overheads. Yes, it's very important at the time of sum solving. Okay. The next part. Office overheads. Sorry, I told you all okay, I'll be using the short form. Fine, I'll use that. Office overheads. Okay. Now these are expenses paid by the manufacturer or the businessman for better management and upkeep of the office. Okay, yeah. So as per your financial accounting, manufacturing final accounts, P&L account debit side indicates office overheads. Okay, so the items that come on P&L debit side is office overheads. And don't forget the word better management and upkeep, that is to maintain the office. Okay, so in this, if you can relate this to your manufacturing final accounts, P&L account debit side, then you will understand what I'm writing as the example. Office staff salary. Okay. Capital O in bracket. Don't write the full form office ka full spelling, write capital O in bracket. Office staff salary. Office manager. See here, I'm very specific. Cost accounting में apportionment, allocation, that means where cost is divided is very important. Salary मतलब financial accounting में तो क्या है, salary बोला तो we take it to P&L debit, but in cost accounting no, किसका सैलरी है, फैक्ट्री वाले का सैलरी है कि ऑफिस वाले का है, वो डिवाइड हो जाएगा. ओके, देन office electricity, then I hope you all can relate this. P&L account debit side, yeah. Then तुम्हारा famous printing and stationery, then audit fees, board of directors meeting का जो भी खर्चा, board meeting expenses. Okay, depreciation on office assets. This is very important. Okay, this is very important. As per CAS 1, office assets include computers, tables, fan, air condition. Okay, even furniture. Okay. Office premises, office building. The word office should be there, huh? Yeah. Office building, office.
एक शिक्षक हूँ शिक्षक अरे इसमें तुम अपने आप को मुझसे छोटा मत समझो
Doing selling and distribution overheads. Okay, students. Any